Welcome to the Crowned Medium, where Her Highness Lorenda Carr delivers intuitive clarity, messages from Spirit, and tools to elevate your spiritual journey.
Wasn't that awesome?
That's amazing. Thank you for having me at the Royal Court, Your Highness. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, we're going to go live over here on the Instagram too. Welcome in, Sarah. Hello.
Hello.
We are getting, just as usual, we're getting all the things set up. You're listening to my hokey new intro. I mean,
I love
there
it.
may or may not have been wine involved in that one. I don't know. And one of my best friends was staying here with me. She's like, help me weed through them. And she's like, you need one with an English accent. I'm like, done.
Yeah, absolutely. It fits. It fits really good. I will say it's very fitting. I love it.
It tracks. So, oh my goodness, I'm trying to figure out how to do this on, I don't know that I can even share on, you know what? I'm over here on the TikToks. We're on everything, right? But it's not giving me the option to share the live.
Oh.
Ooh, well, we're just going to let TikTok do its thing. So we'll get some good clips later.
Great.
Because it's just literally you and I in the...
Right. Hey.
So welcome everybody. This is my good friend Sarah, and I am so excited to have you on today. Like I've been really looking forward to this. We're on all the platforms, just in case, make sure you guys are doing the thing. Do the thing. And now Sarah, I should have thought ahead, but I didn't. We'll make sure to put all your info in the comments so people can follow you as well. So we're going to be talking about, oh, hello. We have 3 people on TikTok. Look at us go. Here we go. Look at us. So everybody, welcome to the Crown Medium. And oh, wait, ChatGPT wrote an intro for you. Do you want to hear it?
Sure. I would love to.
I'm obsessed. I'd like to point out that my ChatGPT actually calls me Your Highness.
How much are you talking to that thing, Lorenda?
Listen.
I'll take that as a little too much.
Maybe, I don't know. It lines everything up for me. It's great. Okay, yes. So tonight, are you ready for this?
Yes.
Oh, wait, no, just kidding. Let me go back. Like it knows how to talk to me. It is hilarious. Well, maybe. I thought it gave me an intro. Oh my gosh, it didn't. Okay, here we go.
No.
Special guest, Sarah Bluebird, psychic medium and grief coach, internationally trusted evidential medium and grief coach. That's it. That's all it said.
Well, that's me.
Proofread ChatGPT. So everybody, you guys, anyway. So I think it'd be cool if we just also tell people kind of how we met. Like it was wild how we're just kind of part of this fun little circle. But first, I think it would be more appropriate, instead of me talking about me, it'd be more appropriate. Tell us what you do, Sarah. Tell us about yourself. Tell us what you enjoy doing, or what kind of work what are you doing in this work?
For sure. So I'm Sarah. I am an evidential psychic medium, a grief coach, and a healing facilitator. And that last part trips people up every now and again. And typically what I say is I don't necessarily call myself the healer. I'm not here to fix you. Not that healer is a bad term by any means, but I am not here to fix you. I am here to help you know how to empower yourself. I am the facilitator in your healing journey, in the healing process. A lot of the work I do is kind of multifaceted. So I bring in the grief coaching aspect of things, even in something like a mediumship session. I'm a tarot reader, a card reader, thanks to you now developing my trance mediumship as well, which I am absolutely loving. I've been speaking with spirit since childhood. For me, it was a thing that just kind of happened to me at a very young age. I was 7 or 8, and I describe it as like a light switch that was switched on in my life. I had my first experience and it never stopped. And for me, growing up, I was seeing spirit like in the physical all around me. And then as I got older, I learned to kind of hone in on it. And it wasn't until a personal loss of my own that I became a grief coach and actually started doing this work full time. So I lost my partner just over 3 years ago, shortly after our house fire. So that got me into this work full time, and it got me into the grief work as well.
Wow. Yeah, it's been pretty amazing watching your journey, because I think at this point, I'm trying to think of when you and I crossed paths on TikTok. I hadn't been on very long.
Yeah, and I think I probably found you before you found me, I think, because I know, like, this is gonna make me sound like a creeper, but I know, like, before, like, when somebody says I'm echoing though.
I get every week. It doesn't matter. Like, are you all, and you're turned down all the way down, right?
Yeah.
Turned all the way down. I don't get it.
Yeah, I am. I can hop off on TikTok if I need to. If it's, too much of an echo, let me know. But yeah, when I first got on the app, I was like, going through my loss, like getting serious into my mediumship. And I was just like looking for people. And you were definitely one of those people that I found. And then this great community kind of opened up,
Right, right. So you weren't even trying to go on TikTok to do what I was doing.
Not automatically. No.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, because we were kind of in like one of those little tight circles after a while. And we've done lives. We've done lives together. We've done chit chats. We've done all kinds of stuff. So it's been a fun journey getting to know you, and also kind of an honor, because you've been you're a private person, but you've been very open with your grief journey. And I think I know it has helped so many people. And, even in real time, in the 5 years that, I guess it's 6 years that I've been on this now. Oh my gosh, I've been doing something for 6 years. 5 years though, of really creating a community and really learning about this, and just seeing everyone else's journeys of all the paths that we've crossed, and other people that have experienced loss, that I'm sure you've been able to, turn to, or they've been able to turn to you and be like, oh my gosh, how,
Yeah.
what now? How are you getting through this? And do you feel like, or how do you feel social media has impacted your journey, other than just, oh, look, I found somebody, and how do you feel like it's helped you in your grief journey or towards where you are now?
Yeah, it's honestly been a big surprise, really. And I kind of went into the TikTok world, social media world, sharing my mediumship, talking about my grief, not knowing what to expect. In my very first video, I talked about, like, I don't really have a lot to give. I don't have a lot to teach right now. This is what's going on in my life. And I want us to be able to come together for other people that are experiencing loss and experiencing grief. But after 3 years of doing that, I have, within my own personal journey, learned how to be more vulnerable, and learned that, like, a life is not perfect by any means. A life is hard. My life was very hard for a while, and still is some days, right, in grief. So it's kind of opened up a pathway to talk about that, like, hey, life is messy and it's hard, and we should be talking about it. And I think that is one of my favorite takeaways from this journey, is saying, like, hey, we need to talk about these things. And being a person who really was not a vulnerable person, like, in the past, I was not the one to kind of really share my feelings and my thoughts and emotions with people. I was not vulnerable with other people. But this journey has taught me how to do that and to be comfortable with it.
Yeah, I will say that has been, from my own perspective too, I would agree. Like, I used to be a much more private person, much more, I'll talk to my therapist about that. Who needs therapy when you've got TikTok?
Right.
But what I found was living out loud and not being ashamed of the things maybe that happened to me, the things that I experienced. What I found is the more I shared, the more people were like, oh, I went through that too. And you're doing okay. Wait, you lived.
Yeah.
And I think, if nothing else, I can at least look back and go, well, at least I went through that. And maybe in some convoluted way, I can justify it all by going, and I helped other people heal.
Yeah, totally agree.
And, In the meantime, I did go to therapy, many years of therapy, a good 20, actually.
I'm in it right now. I get it.
What we do. It's just what we do. And
Yeah.
because you and I come up we'll talk about this too with ethics and we're like, psychic readings do not replace therapy.
Yeah. No, they do not. No, they do not.
They do not.
And even as like someone like I talk, I'm a grief coach, right? I'm a healing facilitator. I work with people in healing journeys, and I will still tell everybody that I work with, go to therapy if you have the means. I'm not a therapist, even though I'm doing this certain work, therapy is important, whether you're in group therapy or whatever. We are not therapists, right? At the end of the day, we're not.
We aren't. I have no letters behind my name.
Correct.
That nothing. None of it.
Yeah.
Now, I could put you in hypnosis. Those are the letters that I have. But I can only inspire you to go to therapy.
Right. You can lead a horse to water,
Yes. And one thing I know that you're good at too is, and I need to be better at, I do have on my website resources, but I know you're really good about providing resources. And I think that's, and our mutual friend, Trish, very, there's a number of people that we're connected to that not only do this work, but recognize we're not therapists. First and foremost, you need to take care of you. I'm not it, but also here's some resources.
Yeah. Because at the same time, I understand not everybody has the means to, they don't have the funds to, whatever. But, if in this work, if I can provide even just a little something that will help outside of me, then that's worth it.
Absolutely. All right. So welcome in, everybody. I'm just going to do a quick hello. We got people joining us in on the Instagram, and we got people in all the other, in the tuba, the U, and you know what? I'm just going to say it now because I kind of don't care. I'm tired of talking in code. I'm already getting the 0 followers.
I can't even post a video. So yeah.
No, and actually I've posted 4 videos in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, I guess. 1 is being seen. 1.
Oh, at least you have 1.
They're so gracious. And I think I've had like 8 views on it. I don't know.
Right. Doing big numbers over here.
Big numbers. So now how do you, when you're working as a grief coach, what are some of the things that maybe you do besides go to therapy, suggest therapy? How can you support them? What are some of the things that you do to help support them and help them as a coach? Like, since you don't do therapists, what do you do?
Yeah. So I think number 1, my biggest goal is to always help people feel seen and heard in what they're experiencing, because 2 people can experience losing the same friend, same family member. You can have, both people can lose someone, even if they didn't know each other, of the same relationship, and nobody's grief is exactly the same. So it will make people feel really isolated in their grief. So having somebody else there, which is a lot of what I do, to say, hey, what you're feeling is normal and what you're feeling is completely valid, goes a really long way. And I found that in my own grief journey from people who were not involved in this work, that would just sit with me and say, yeah, this really sucks. This is really bad. And it's going to hurt for a long time. That was huge. So that's a lot of what I do, as well as giving quick tools, resources, again, as that was brought up, but things that people can do their hands on that might kind of help them feel, what's really going on as well. Right. And as well as, tools that are empowering and helping people know that this will get better eventually. Grief doesn't necessarily get easier, but it changes, and it's encouraging to know that as someone who's going through grief.
Right. I feel like some of the things that I've heard you, as well as some of our other friends, talk about when they've lost someone close, it's not that you're never healed from it. It just integrates into you and makes you a new person.
Yeah.
Yeah. It becomes a part of you. And just like when we lose, say someone loses a body part, it's not that you just get over it. It becomes part of who you are and how you adapt, and you adapt. You adapt environment. And I think when you lose people close to you, it's, you just never get over it. And
Absolutely.
I feel like it's really important when, again, whether it's a therapist, grief coach, whatever, even just a friend, being the friend that sits with someone, expect that person to never get over it. And just, if you want to be the good friend, then you need to be part of that journey and giving them the space to just integrate it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not
And you raise,
it's just great.
You raise a really good point. You know, I say a lot that you can't go to war with your grief. It's not something that needs to be immediately fixed, and others shouldn't assume that of a grieving person. It's not something to fix or make go away, because it will never go away. Grief changes you and it lives within inside you. And I think you at least partially get to decide what that looks like, right? How you're caring for yourself and how others around are caring for you through that.
Right. Right. So what, as a psychic medium, what do you, how do you feel you, or do you incorporate your spiritual work, or, you know, spirit, or like how do you integrate that, or do you?
I think it is a case by case basis. I mean, I'll say that I am always incorporating, pretty much always incorporating my grief work into my psychic mediumship, right? Because we are working with grieving people. As a medium, I am sitting across from someone who has lost somebody. So my grief coaching tools come into play there, and how I support people when the session is over, or even, you know, in those really heavy moments. When it comes to the opposite, I like to respect people's boundaries, right? If you are here for a grief coaching session and you want to talk about you, we're only talking about you today. And that's kind of how I tend to treat it. But there is definitely overlap. And I have said before that if you are a psychic medium, or you are in any capacity working with grieving people, go, you know, there's free online training. There's different, like, cheaper courses. Just go get some baseline experience of how to be trauma informed in this work. That is
huge, because as a psychic medium, especially people who, and you probably know this better than most, because you are what we would call natural born. I believe we are all natural born.
Yes.
It's just the level of openness and development. But think about how many natural born people or mediums do more harm than good.
Yeah.
When someone's lost a loved one. We have seen it in real time on the tickety-tocketies. Yeah. We've seen, oh man, there's one, I will never say this person's name out loud. I never want this person to get any attention. But there was one time I saw someone talking about doing a reading, and this person actually put it out there because they were proud to stand up and say this. Like, girl, you can't say that. Said, you cannot, you may remember this too. Saying, oh, honey, your person's stuck. They can't move on. They can't move on because you are in this, and by the way, they overdosed. And they can't move on because you're too attached to them. You're loving them too much, and they can't move on to spirit. They can't move on to that.
Terrible.
This person charges so much more than I do, and people clamor, and like, I don't get it.
Yeah. And I will add to that, and I will leave this comment at this comment, but the things I have also heard in private sessions regarding something that you just brought up, as well as other people, like the things I have heard from people at the end of the session, that, not to toot my own horn, but people saying, thank you for your kindness, you know, whatever.
Right.
And they tell me stories about things that they have experienced outside with other mediums. And it's horrifying. Like, it's actually horrifying, and nobody deserves to be treated that way. And I will say very briefly that I have seen people say, like, oh, well, at least they're honest. At least they're telling me, you know, what's really going on. And they're not just saying that they're okay. That's not the case there. That's not what's happening. It's not a matter of being honest.
It isn't. It isn't.
It's not how that works.
It's actually a position of it's a situation of someone trying to take a position of authority.
Yes.
telling you how it is. They're not helping you.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. I think you and I do a lot of damage control.
I agree.
I think that comes along with this type of work, which is where development comes in, because then if you've got mentors to say, hey, here's an idea. How about not like tear people down in tough love? I can tough love all day long. I'm a Gen Xer. That's my love language. However, we have to understand that it's not always that way, especially when the person is grieving and not just there for a dog and pony show.
Yeah.
But if they're grieving and they need answers and they need closure, you telling them it's
terrible. And I posted a video about this on my page not too long ago, because again, growing up at such a young age, kind of being thrown into this work, I made a lot of mistakes. Like, I didn't know what the hell was going on, right? Like, I did. And I thank the universe every day that I never told a grieving person this. But when I was young, like a kid, I thought spirit got stuck. You know what I mean? But it was through development and learning and training and reading and practicing that I realized that's not the truth. That doesn't happen.
Right. Right. But in that, again, this goes back to where we say, if you're going to be doing this for people, development.
Yes.
Please. Yeah. Please, development. Because oftentimes too, without that development, I feel, and I could talk about this all day long. I promise I won't. But, there are times that mediums will see, whether it's in their mind's eye or in actual see, whatever their clair is, whatever the spirit's trying to show them is not how the medium interprets it. So, yeah. But the medium is convinced they're right.
Yep.
And they'll tell you. They're always accurate.
Yes. 100% of the time.
Yeah. Yep. All the time. So now let's just kind of, is there anything else you want to add to the grief conversation? And maybe what would you, besides therapy? I'm trying to think about it's like I have a question in my head, but I don't know how to put the words to it because I haven't asked ChatGPT. I think I've.
Well, I have something I can add to that also, overlaps. One thing I will say is that oftentimes, it still even happens to me in some capacity, is when people go through such a enormous loss, or you go through a loss that was really impactful, oftentimes I see that it almost kind of steers people into the spiritual world a lot more, because people are looking to understand what happened. They're looking for proof of an afterlife, and they're looking for purpose sometimes for the loss, right? So if you or anybody else, find yourself in that situation where you're exploring spirituality after a loss, I just want to say, take that slow, because there's a lot of people that I work with that will experience a really big loss and then want to do this work. They want to do mediumship. They want to get into their psychic abilities. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But I will always say, take it slow, because with spiritual development also comes personal development. Those two things go hand in hand, and you cannot avoid each other. You can't.
They're not kind of this. They're like.
Absolutely. Knots on knots on knots. Like they're, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And now, what about and actually, that's something we've seen. It doesn't even have to be grief as in loss of like grief, but even just trauma in general. I've in real time on lives on social media, I've seen in real time people crash out because they're doing this work, but they never dealt with their trauma. And all of a sudden something comes into them, and then just like, and then gone. Like, and I've seen them like crash out, start crying, and then we don't see them for a couple of months. Like we've seen that happen, and I hate that for the practitioner as well. And then all of a sudden, like the person sitter feels bad too. But
right, it's not their fault,
It's not their fault, but But this is where, again, you and I are going to tell people all day long, especially if you're helping them develop. And I think I even ask you, okay, what's your why? Why are you doing this? What do you want to get out of it? Why do you want to step into that spiritual, especially coming from a place of grief? What is it that you want to get out of this? But then there's the flip side of the coin. I would want to ask you this, your thoughts on this. What about someone who is an intuitive and like you being the natural born, you were seeing spirits. How did that grief, how did that event in your life affect your intuition, or did it?
Yeah. So, I mean, I will say, like, when I first started, interacting with the spirit world, very young age, I thought it was just magical. I thought it was the coolest thing, right?
I'm in my 50s and it's still magical.
It still is. Absolutely. It still is. And it was just like the coolest thing, but it was also just like a normal part of life. And it was interesting to me. And I always wanted to learn more about it. And then as I got older, I think old enough to understand the emotional weight of it, it turned into wanting to be of service to other people. Mm-hmm. And for me, my favorite thing about this work is hearing the difference between the sound of someone's voice when I first get on a call with them and the sound afterwards, because you can hear the lift in their energy and you can feel the weight that has come off of them, knowing their loved one's okay, knowing they're going to be okay, what have you. And for me, to answer the second part of your question, after my really big loss, after I lost my partner, after the fire, two things happened. Number one, I felt more inclined to use my intuition in a more open way, because I did start this young, but I was in the mediumship closet, like for real, for a while. And I carried a lot of shame around that. So I felt really kind of this freedom around it all of a sudden, like this call to be more public about it, which is why I started on TikTok. And I mentioned something else, that going back to the personal development thing, I really struggled with a lot of questions and a lot of trauma surrounding my partner's passing. And I found, not to make this a negative thing, but I found that in my own mediumship work for a little bit, I struggled to get information around the passing of spirit, because I was carrying such a blockage around that in my own trauma that spirit was like just not giving it to me. I couldn't get it, because I was struggling so badly with questions and uncertainty around my own partner's passing. Right. So again, I bring that back to saying the stuff going on in your personal life absolutely affects how your readings go. So.
It does. It really does. And I've had a number of people that are mediums or that are not very naturally inclined for intuition, developed and undeveloped, mm-hmm. that when life lifes, that they're like, but then my mediumship goes away. My intuition goes away. I can't, and I just tell them, well, yeah, because you're down here playing the low notes and you can't feel the high notes. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
And also maybe we're not supposed to walk through this entire life completely being connected and hearing our guides and hearing spirit all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just have to just live our life.
Yeah. Just be human. Just be right. It's what we're here to do, Right.
Chrissy, no, so we've got Sarah is my special guest on the crowned medium Monday Night Mania. So no, we're just having a discussion about grief and intuition and all that good stuff. So, but thank you for offering. I appreciate it. I saw that you said you were a medium as well. So, but thank you for joining. I'd love for you to drop your thoughts and be happy to engage with you that way. I appreciate it. Christy King says, Sarah is an absolutely amazing grief coach. I cannot recommend her highly enough. Oh, I love that.
Thank you.
I love that for you. Like and you're just such a genuinely nice person. Like, and I say that like, you're so nice. So I don't know. I am.
You're a nice person, Lorenda.
I'm nice, but I'm a little edgier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, trust and believe. You ask anyone in my personal life, I can get there. So
Yeah, there's a reason that we get along. It's fine.
Right.
You're just more low key, where I
Mhm.
happen to be that big Leo energy that's just like,
Yeah. See, I'm the Libra, so I keep it balanced in here most of the time. Not always.
I'm telling you, Leos love the Libras.
And I do love my Leos.
I know, right? It's just, I love it. Carrie is a Libra.
Oh, yes, she is.
Is.
So true. Yes, she is.
Oh.
Yeah. And I love her too.
Mama Carrie. Did you see that we have a podcast?
I'm very excited for this.
I know we got our first episode came out. Finally. Our next
it's out already?
It is.
I'm gonna listen. Gonna listen.
I thought I sent you the link.
Yeah, I don't know. You might have. I didn't think it was out. And everybody else better listen too. Hear me?
Yeah, listen to this. We have a podcast. I got a podcast. I said I was going to do it, and we did it. Okay, I didn't say. I was bullied into it. It took 2 people to wrangle me into it and go, you're talking on Tuesday about this, and go. Okay.
See, if that's the organization we were talking about, that's what we need sometimes.
Exactly. And what's funny is, okay, side note, complete sidebar. So we got Carrie, the Libra, me, the Leo, and then we've got Michelle, who is actually a former middle school band teacher.
Heck yeah.
And she's an Aries.
Oh, that's such an Aries job to have. Like, that's amazing.
But she's so chill. Like, I'm like, listen, I would not peg you for an Aries. You're not feisty enough. She's like, well, you should have seen me 30 years ago. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
That's awesome. Yeah, my middle school band teacher was also like kind of chill, but she had a fiery side for sure.
You have to. Well,
yeah.
I think it comes with age as well. So let's talk about your mediumship journey. And obviously we now know where you started and what how things are going, but how are things going? Are you currently, I know you are, but tell us, like, what kind of services you offer, like what kind of things you do for mediumship and psychism and all the good things.
Yeah. So, I'm currently taking bookings. I have been, again, kind of since for the past, actually officially for the past 3.5 years, outside of word of mouth stuff. But currently I offer a couple of different things. Number one, there's your regular mediumship reading. So that is a 45-minute reading. And in my sessions, you can choose to go direct and say, hey, this whole time I want to talk to my mom, right? I don't want any more information from you. Don't tell me. But, we can spend the session on that. Or you can say, hey, I am here. I'm just open, right? Anybody and everybody come forward. Let me know who's around. And we can go about it that way. And of course, in the sessions, we always bring forward information, evidence that you can validate where you say, yeah, that's definitely my person. And then messages follow. I also offer a focused mediumship session, which is a bit shorter. It's a 30-minute session, and those are reserved for direct communications. So if you're like, Sarah, we got 30 minutes. Again, I want to talk to my mom. Then we go straight to mom. We talk for 30 minutes. And then outside of mediumship, I also offer intuitive guidance sessions, which are like your traditional psychic reading where we're talking about you, but I give you homework.
Ooh, I love that.
Which is my favorite thing to do. And I always tell people, don't let that word scare you. My whole thing is when you come and work with me in any capacity, I want the healing and the work to continue after you leave our call. So I like to, in the intuitive sessions or in a psychic reading, I like to tell you, hey, here is a tool. Here's a practice. Here's a journaling method. Here are things that you can do when we get off this call. And I want you to do them for a couple months and see if that helps with what you're struggling with. And then I offer emailed psychic readings as well. So those are 15-minute audio recorded readings. You can submit your question and I send it to your email in 7 days. And it's a recording that you can listen to.
I love that.
Thanks. I love them. I started doing those recently. And I love it because sometimes you're like, you don't need a whole 45-minute session. And it's nice for people on the go. you can't always sit down. People have kids, they have work, so if I can work with you, even in just a 15-minute audio recording, I would love to.
So they just basically email and be like, hey, here's my question, or can you focus on this area of my life, or
Yeah. Yep. So there's just like a brief form that you fill out, just, consenting to the reading, all of that, your name, your email, and then you can put in the area of life, or if you have a specific question, I always say, don't ask the yes or no question, ask the how, ask the what, because I'm not going to answer a yes or no question.
Listen, can you have to do that recording? Yes.
Yes. No, I'm not doing that, and don't waste your money on that. So, but yeah. And then you can always say, I just need to check in. I just need to know what's going on with my energy, with my life. I'm feeling a little bit of a slump. Can I just, can I do that? And you can absolutely do that too in any reading. So
love that. I probably need to broaden my horizons on that. I'm pretty much just like reading. Yeah. I say that, but then I scroll through my offerings and I'm like, I have a lot of stuff.
I was gonna say, you do cool stuff. What do you mean?
I do cool stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I do cool stuff. And so speaking of homework, how's that trance coming along there, Sarah?
Good question. It is coming along. I'm trying to think. I actually think the last time that I was in trance was in your class, which was too long ago.
I know. Well, and also I need to offer more of them.
Yeah, do another one. I'll come.
my spare time.
Yeah.
Remember that part where we were talking before we came on? I was like, oh, it's competition season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have time from 10 a.m. to 1 or 10 a.m. to 1 or 2 p.m., but nobody else seems to be able to take classes during that time.
Yeah. No, and you need time for you,
True.
You need your time.
Listen, you'd be surprised. You wouldn't be surprised. As a practitioner, you understand this.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how there are people in my life that get offended when I'm like, no, that is my downtime. I'm scheduling downtime. I'm going to sit on the couch and watch Victoria and not check my email and not do readings. Just because my schedule is open for an hour, that doesn't mean I want to work for an additional hour.
Right. Correct. Because we also have, other things going on, not only in our personal life, but we have, clients scheduled or a class scheduled that you might have, and it's we have to make sure we are energetically and physically okay to be there and to show up for the people who have sessions, Yeah,
that is kind of a, big deal. If I'm,
yes,
I've had people reach out to me 10 o'clock at night. Do you have time for a reading?
Me too. Yeah.
I'm like, well, only if you want a very wine-induced spirited reading.
Right. I'll give you a discount.
What's happening right now? Can't guarantee anything is going to be good or accurate. Although I will say, my friends joke in the neighborhood, well, if Lorenda starts talking about babies around you and she's got wine in her hand, you better run. Because she's right. I predict the babies.
I was going to say, I think I've heard you talk about this before. Yeah.
And that's not my wheelhouse. I don't do that. But when you're among friends and there's a lot of wine involved, that's different.
Yeah. And it started coming through in probably the past year and a half. It's been coming through a lot for me in my private sessions. And I don't want to do that.
Right.
And a lot of times it comes up, they know someone's having a baby. And most of the time someone's like, oh my God, yeah, so-and-so in my family just announced it. Nobody else knows, right? And they know. Every now and again, a surprise will be spoiled. So I don't know what to do about that.
I did have a client not too long ago. Not a client, it was actually on a TikTok live. It was on TikTok live. I was like, there's someone here that just passed that's holding a baby that says not yet, but when you're ready. Oh. They were like,
okay.
I'm like, no stress. It could be not for you.
Right. No stress, no worries. It could be anybody. Yeah, right. That's I've had similar situations, and there will be, a woman who has daughters or whatever, and she's like, there better not be anybody in the family. I'm like, sorry.
Could be a neighbor just walking by with a stroller.
Right.
That's all. That's all we have. It
Absolutely.
doesn't have to be anything
Absolutely.
major. It's fine.
And to be clear, I don't do pregnancy readings. Just for people who don't know me that see me talking about this would be something that would kind of like a spirit is bringing it through as a one point in a reading. I don't do pregnancy prediction readings.
I do not. Now, what I will ask, what are your thoughts on from coming from the grief perspective, when someone loses, when a child's born sleeping, or when they're dealing with that kind of grief? What are your thoughts on that? Like, how intuitively what do you pick up on that? Tell me what's your process? What have you experienced with that?
Yeah, so it's actually been very, I hate to use this word for such a heavy topic, so excuse me, but it's actually been very fascinating, some of the information that comes forward. Number one is, when somebody loses a child, or a child doesn't make it into the physical world for whatever reason,
right,
that they typically do come through, right? They come through to the medium and say that they're okay. Another aspect that I have noticed about that is they will indicate to me, the manner in which they passed, or that they were a baby, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I don't sense an age on them necessarily. They are kind of like this ageless entity, which is very cool. It's very cool in how it comes across and how I perceive it. And they will often come through with that message to their parents that are still in the living of, please know I'm not stuck at that age in which I passed. I'm not stuck at a couple months, nothing like that. Age is not a limit here. And they are still so intelligent and knowledgeable. And it's really beautiful. As far as the grief goes, I think loss in general is so confusing, right? And especially when it has to do with, losing a child for whatever reason. I don't know what that's like personally, but I think there is almost that added confusion and sometimes even self-blame that comes through in that. And that's extremely difficult, but please know that these things they happen in the universe, and it's so, so hard, and it's terrible. But, in grief, a lot of people will blame themselves. A lot of people will say, could I have done something different? Could I, no matter what loss, could I have done something different? And a lot of times the answer is no.
Right. Yeah. I've had the spirit that was assigned to the spirit assigned to the child will come through. And oftentimes, especially if the parent is blaming themselves, will say, not only was it not your fault, but this is what would happen. And it's amazing the array of reasons it could happen comes through.
Yeah.
Everything from, well, actually, like, this is kind of part of your grief, like part of a journey you're supposed to go on, and I'll be around later. Hang tight. Like,
yeah.
And sometimes, and people that, it's amazing, like the information that we'll get from.
And I want to say, like, as us mediums, like, for any other mediums watching, or somebody who wants to get into this work, like, just know that it is a very delicate subject, It
is.
And handle it with care, as with any loss, of course. But as of recent, I've seen some just not great things being said on this particular subject, and it's incredibly damaging to those in the living.
Yes. And even now, even talking now, I'm just like, okay, I'm very mindful of the words that we choose.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna seek out a medium and it's not one of us, that's fine. But try to make sure you're finding someone that chooses words carefully. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, okay, so one of the things that you have on your bio is that you are international and that you work with clients all over the world. Which I mean, that's been the beautiful thing about TikTok. We do, like, I've come across people, especially in the earlier days, not so much now.
I agree.
In the earlier days, it was, I was meeting people from all over the world. I had clients like, they were like, yeah, but can you talk to me? I'm in Australia. Can you talk to me at 8 a.m. my time? I'm like, sure cannot.
Yeah. I worked with a few people in New Zealand for a while and like over on that side of the world. And it is very difficult to schedule.
It is. It is. Now, what's it like working with clients though, worldwide when it comes to whether it's grief or the mediumship? What's been your experience? Are there cultural differences? Or what has been your experience working with people outside of the good old America?
Yeah. So I think something that I learned in that process is don't assume that mediumship is done or performed necessarily in the same way everywhere in the world, right? Like it was very important for me. I learned very quickly to describe my process and what someone can expect in a session with me when I'm working from someone or with someone outside of the US, right? And because mediums there that they're familiar with might work different. Mediums in the UK sometimes work differently, wherever in the world. Everybody's, in general, even in the US, everyone's process is different, right? But that was especially important for me. And I also noticed that sometimes like terminology that I would use wouldn't, in terms of what was being referenced in my mind by spirit, it wouldn't really apply or land in the same way. Sometimes, every now and again, that I'd have to just explain and they'd get it.
Right.
And then the other thing that's really interesting is when spirit comes through and they speak a different language than what I speak, right? I only speak English. And of course, spirit is communicating to me in my language, but it was interesting to hear different like terms and things come forward that I wasn't aware of because I don't speak that language. So.
Ooh, yeah. That's a really good point because I've had clients that'll say, well, that can't be them because they didn't speak English.
Right.
You have to, they will communicate in a way that I understand because otherwise it's pointless.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to bust out speaking Dutch. It's just not happening.
Yeah. No, right. They are going to use our senses and the tools in our toolbox to communicate. And they might indicate like, yeah, I wasn't, a native English speaker when I was living, or I lived here instead. And they might throw in a term that I can kind of make out. Am I echoing on TikTok?
They've been saying that all along, but
okay.
I keep telling people to go to the tube.
Oh, okay.
The tube. We're in the Carr medium.
Okay.
The tube. Hi.
But yeah, it is very interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I do love. Again, when I first started the journey with TikTok, I had a lot more clients from other countries. And when I did, before I ever started doing just mediumship reading, before I knew that I was doing mediumship reading, I was working with Biddy Tarot. And so I was getting, that was all email stuff. And I was getting clients from literally all over the world. Like I would get an email and sometimes I'd have to hit translate to English.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool. Wow. It was really cool. So then I had to be really mindful of, I had a couple of them come back and say, I don't know what this word means, or it didn't translate.
Yeah.
So then I would have to give like a list of other ways it might interpret.
Yep. That's exactly what I was referencing.
Till just now. I was like, oh yeah, wait, I've dealt with this. I forgot about that.
And you know what? It makes you realize too that, without getting too gushy about it, it's interesting that, across different lives and across different cultures, there is still, something that connects us. And there is kind of this universal energy that we can still kind of speak through. And that applies to literally everyone. It doesn't matter if we speak different languages. It doesn't matter if you are in, New Zealand and I'm in the United States while the reading's happening. It's still happening. We don't have to be right in front of each other. We don't have to even speak the same language, and it can sort of happen, So.
Yeah. Not sort of. It totally happens.
Right. Yeah.
Because, as we like to say, energy is energy is energy.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was actually my next question. Like, do you have any issue with, but like we can do email readings, having never met the person. We can do, and by the way, if you are just starting out and you're like, but I like the tarot cards, or that's a really great way to do it because you just have to trust what you're getting. Mm-hmm. You don't get the feedback from the person in real time. you just type it out and hit send. Same thing with your recordings.
Yeah,
When you
with the
send
recorded readings. Yeah.
you get the information, you say what you get, and you send it off. I get the same thing with my multidimensional channeling clients with all kinds of stuff. You just have to learn to trust.
Yeah.
And that is a great exercise in learning to trust, because then the feedback you get is 9 times out of 10, you're like, wait, that made sense to you?
Right.
No way. And it may make sense to them in a way that absolutely you would never have thought of. You know, oh, there's Auntie Sean. Auntie Sean's in the house. We're getting.
Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean. And also, if there are colleagues beside, make sure you guys are following Medium Auntie Sean. Auntie Sean. I gotta say it with a. I can't. Make sure you guys are all jumping in. And our colleagues, I see Rob's in the house. Ooh,
hello.
You guys are giving a wave, and that way people can follow you and do all the things. So, thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. So happy I tuned in tonight. A grief coach, psychic medium. My aunt just passed Saturday at a young age. Things have been heavy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. And actually, I saw that over in the Instagram. Christy, thanks for popping over to the tube for that. I started to respond, and then I know you're going to be shocked, but I got sidetracked.
Shocker.
As a matter of fact, I actually have a squirrel that I usually have sitting back here that has a crown on it to remind me of like my squirrelness, but it's still in my tree that's still upstairs.
Your tree, Lorenda?
Don't get me started.
Lorenda, it's about to be February, girl.
Listen. And I'm home on snow day tomorrow. The studio's closed, so we were gonna do it tonight, but my husband got home late. We were in California. I mean, we were bouging it up. I was like in California.
That's good.
And then we traveled 3 times this month, and normally we would only do it once. It was a lot, so that's
well, that explains it. Then you're excused, and you were living your life.
I am living my life. Living my life. But you don't have a squirrel on. Huh? Oh my goodness, that's funny. So what do you have coming up? Tell people what you got coming up.
What do I have coming up? There's something that's.
I got nothing.
There is something that's coming. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about it yet. So I'll say this. It's not anything like ginormous. I've been writing, so keep your eyes out for written material coming soon. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. But things coming up in the spring. I have a Patreon that you can always join. We just hit 200 posts on it, I think, that is full of psychic and mediumship development tools and education. There's grief tools on there. There's community resources. There's practices that you can do on your own. And there's a free tier. And then there's 2 different paid tiers. And with the $14.44 tier, you get a one-on-one meeting with me every month as a quick check-in. So go check out the Patreon if you would like. That's always available. So,
yeah, Carrie keeps bullying me about that. She goes, "Girl, you need a Patreon." I'm like, do I?
Yeah.
Do I need to add anything else to manage?
I'm not going to lie. It's a lot to manage. I've done it a couple times in a couple different facets, and it's a lot.
But
it's worth it.
I think I'm just going to simmer in what I already have.
Yeah.
And then now that I have an assistant, we'll see where that goes.
There you go.
If I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all the amazing amounts of time that I have.
Right. And then you have Patreon time. It's going to be fine.
Then I got Patreon time. Sarah's incredible with her Patreon. Everyone really should follow. Oh, I love that.
Well, thank you, Sean.
Auntie Sean says, and if Auntie Sean says it,
that's the truth.
It's true. All right. So anybody have any questions for Sarah? Anyone? With the delay, we're going to sit here and sit awkwardly and wait.
That's okay. My screen has not been on the comments this entire time. I just realized it. So I'm going to take this time to catch up on comments.
Yeah, catch up. Okay, you've got some people.
Oh, Christy said Sarah's good at giving homework. Thank you.
Hello, Papa Jean. How much is your Patreon? So you've got levels. You said you got the free.
Yeah. So right now I'm posting a lot of, well, I guess I shouldn't say a lot. A lot of what's coming out is free currently because I'm trying to make it more accessible. So there's free things you can join for free. You do have to join to see it, but it's free. And then there's like a middle tier that's $7.77. And that is kind of if you want access to the older podcast episodes with readings in them. If you want mid-tier content, if you just want to support. And then it's $14.14 for the highest membership. And you get access to everything on that page. And you also get monthly meetings with me every single month that you are subscribed.
There you go. And I know you already said that once, but I totally forgot all the numbers. So I let you say it.
It's
again.
a lot. And I get confused. So yeah, I always encourage people, join for free and check it out and see if you align with the content on there. Because you might get on there and be like, I know this stuff already. Or it's not helping, whatever. Join for free. Come check us out. You're always welcome.
I love that. I love that. Now over here in the tube,
yes.
We have Christy's asking, how can we work on blocking out grief to connect ourselves? Well, I'm going to let you talk on that one.
Okay. The first thing that I would say is I would encourage you to change your language a little bit and change how you approach the situation. So to connect to the spirit world, to connect to your guides, psychically, however you want to approach it, you have to be open to feeling, I would say. And feeling is, you have to be open to feeling part of your grief as well. And I'm just going to give you some regular advice. You cannot block out grief because it will find you no matter what. And I hate to make that sound scary, spooky, but it will. And that is the reality of it. I really encourage you to feel everything that you are experiencing in your grief because it will only help you in the end in terms of your connection to the spirit world. It will only deepen that. So try to look at it a little bit differently if you can.
What she said.
But I get it. I will say also, I get it. I totally, and I'm not, that's not me shaming you. I totally understand what you're saying of like, I just want to put this away for a little bit so I can focus on connecting. But those two things are not separate. So you can't treat them separately.
Right. Someday there will be like science. A scientist is going to come along and explain it in a way that we all go, oh.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Can't wait for that day.
It's coming. What happened in my lifetime, though? I mean, a lot has happened. Look, when I was a kid, there was no internet, no cordless phones. And now look at us go. And I'm 54. So think about what could happen in the next just 20 years.
It's crazy.
I know.
With, like AI and everything. Like it's getting crazy in here.
Crazy up in her, right? Thoughts on manifestation. That might be a big topic to talk about. Manifesting. We only got like a minute left, but I love that. I do love that topic. Because I could talk about manifest. That's a whole other show, manifesting.
Yeah.
And pulling, and creating our own reality.
I feel like you're good at talking about that kind of stuff.
I love talking about manifesting.
Yeah. So, okay. Can I interview you for a minute?
Absolutely.
Quick minute? Okay.
Of course you can interview me.
If somebody wants to get into the manifestation world, they want to learn more about it. One quick tip.
Thoughts are things. Thoughts are our realities. That is huge. Whatever you put out is what comes back. And if how I explain manifesting, my favorite exercise to tell people, and an analogy, when you go to order something on Amazon, when you get in your head, you're like, oh, I want some new sheets. You get your phone. Oh, I want these. I want these and I want these. Cool. Done. You don't worry about, wow, who just took my order? Who's going to get it off the shelf? I wonder if that guy had a bad day today. Did they eat breakfast? That you don't worry about. You just done and done. And then in 2 days, you just know it's going to be there. What you embody for manifesting in order to make it happen is not the dialing it up. It's how do you feel when you open the door and you pick up the box and your sheets are in there? You already have it. Embracing and embodying the energy of already having it, and it comes to you.
I like that. I really like that analogy a lot, because you're right. We don't worry about what's happening in the
you don't worry about logistics. You don't worry about is the guy who's driving the FedEx truck, is his kids okay? Like, what are they doing that day? It's nothing. You don't think about any of that. You're just like, it's happening.
Yeah. And so true.
Embody the feeling of, check it out. You like, even better, just snuggling down in those sheets. How does that feel? That's how you make it happen. Carrie's in the house. Mama Carrie.
Carrie. Hello, Queen.
Hello. So, all right. Well, really quick, let's drop all your socials. Let people know where they can find you and all the good things.
Yeah. So you can find me on TikTok if you are streaming here, or if you're tuning into the stream here, give me a follow. It is spiritually.sarah, and I spell my name with an H. You can find me at spiritually.sarah pretty much anywhere. I am most active right now outside of TikTok. I'm most active on Threads, so you can find me there. All of my socials are linked in my link in bio, and you can go to my website, which is sarah-bluebirdreadings.com. So you can find me there for all of the things that you could need from me.
All of the things. I love that. I'm so glad that we got to connect.
Me too. I miss you. It's been so long since we chatted.
I know. And you're one of those people that just pops into my head randomly. I'm like, I got to text her.
Yeah.
Like, I miss your face.
I know.
And yeah, I've really enjoyed this time, just kind of reconnecting and letting people know that you're around. And I think it's also really important. I'm going to try to do this with some of my other people that I really want to see continue to succeed and to continue, because I have such a huge platform outside of TikTok. But I really want to see, as things shift and change as they do, that the people that are really, really doing the work, that are ethical, that are truly the helpers that Mr. Rogers would send you to, I want to see you guys succeed. I want to see you continue to be seen, to get work, and to continue helping people, because you are truly just, I've never in my life thought, wait, is Sarah actually not a good person and just really hiding it? Never once.
Oh, that means a lot.
It does, because I'm probably one of the most skeptical people. Yeah. Carrie will tell you, I'm telling her, like, listen, I don't know about stuff. What do you think? And she'll be like, oh my God, just chill out. I'm like, I bet I'm right.
That's so funny. You do. You have some discernment on you. You do. I do. Yes.
I do. But I always give the person the benefit of the doubt, just in case.
Yes.
But no, I absolutely I love your energy, and I love your heart and your soul. And I appreciate the fact that you share your journey. You share your journey, and it's been a tough one, and I just really value and adore you. So thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. And I hope you know that the feeling is mutual as well.
But wait, hold on. I got to do the puzzle before they tell me I go away. I only have 90 seconds. Okay, no, or 5 minutes. I don't know. It's weird. But do you guys want to hear my new outro? The answer is yes.
You're going to want to hear it.
Because most of you did not hear the intro, so I kept it pretty similar for the outro. So make sure you guys are following, make sure you're subscribing, you're liking, you're doing all of the things. I truly appreciate you guys joining in on my personal MTV is what I call it. Because it's the only way I'm going to get, the only way I'm famous, because that's it. That's all I got.
You're famous to me, Lorenda.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. 2 queens hanging out. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. And we'll see you Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Crowned Medium, where I'll be doing some readings. I don't have any guests that day because I was just like, I don't want to do that. We're just going to do readings. We're going to be talking about, oh, wait, I do have some things to talk about, but I forget. I have a list. It's really good, though. It's a really good list. You should tune in. It'll be a surprise. All right. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Thank you, Sarah.
Bye. Thank you.
And actually, Sarah, just hang out for a minute. And then when everything's closed down, you and I'll chat some more. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Your time in the realm of the Crowned Medium is cherished. Her Highness Lorenda Carr encourages you to like, subscribe, comment, and follow on all channels to stay updated on new episodes and offerings.